Hi, welcome to the part 13 of this playlist. Parts 11 and 12 have been uploaded in the members area. You have to become a cloud kernel member to access it. You can click the join button in the description link and become a cloud kernel member for a very small premium. You gain access to so many important questions. If you have not yet subscribed, take this opportunity, subscribe. Many people have cleared certifications around Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, and so on. Let us look at this question now. You have a subscription and it has these storage accounts. The question is saying you need to identify a storage account that can be converted to ZRS. One thing you should remember, only LRS and GRS can be converted to ZRS. From a certification perspective, people are only asking you about V2 and not V1. So eliminate V1 here, and as well as they are not talking about blob storage. So between these two, always remember that LRS or GRS cannot it is not supported for conversion to ZRS. So we are left with one option, that is storage 2. That is this one. So this would be our final answer. See, in this question, it is very simple. You have a storage account named account 1 and you need to upload disk files of a virtual machine to account 1. Simple. From where? From on-premises. So from on-premises, you are moving it to Azure cloud in account 1. So one thing that you will have to do is, see, this question is asking about these things. It is saying that you should be able to do these things. You should be able to upload the disk files and prevent access, other account access to account 1 and etc. So first thing, if you want to add this, okay, you will have to, on premises and Azure talk to each other. You will have to ensure that this IP is somewhere added. So where it is added, that is in option C, it is added. That is one. Then now, in order to add that, from where will you go? You will go from the networking blade of account 1 and select selected networks. These two are my answers. Why? Because we have to choose only two actions. See, B is wrong because B is telling only allow trusted services to access it. How do I know it is trusted? I don't know. Okay, and D is wrong because it is saying from the network blade you add VNet1. We don't need to add a virtual network here. We just need to select the networks. And E is saying that you use service endpoint blade. No, we don't have to go to the service endpoint. The question is not saying that we have any service endpoint here. So these two would be our final answers. See, this is a standard question. You have server 1, where it will be, obviously it will be on premises. The whole AZ104 is, a lot of questions are based around this on premises and Azure. And you have Azure box. The blue box is Azure and red box is your on premises. And what you have to do is you have to do a file sync up between these two environments. Simple. Now what are the steps? These are some of the options. You have to arrange the steps in sequence. The first thing we have to do is you have to install the file sync agent on server 1. Where is server 1? Server 1 is this red box. This red box you see, this is on premises. You have to install the agent, the sync agent. Always remember, the sync agent always has to be put on premises and not on clouds. The second is you have to register server 1. Why you have to register? Where you have to register? You have to register server 1 in Azure so that Azure can talk to the on premises server 1. And then you have to add a server endpoint. So endpoint is a better way of communicating. So you add a server endpoint so that it can talk to your Azure services. Now this option marked in red is wrong because it is talking about recovery services vault. We have no use of recovery services. This is not a disaster solution that we have to create. Second is, you here it says create on premises data gateway. You do not need a data gateway. You need to understand what is data gateway. It acts as a bridge between on-premises and Azure cloud services to transfer your data. Here we are not talking about just migrating, we are talking about syncing so that both the environments, mind you, please note the difference. This is just sync up. That means both on-premises and Azure will continue to exist. We use gateway when you are sure that you want to do away with the on-premises and you want to migrate your data to cloud. A lot of time we use it that way from a storage perspective only. Now DFS replication is called distributed file system replication. We use it when you have two servers like this on both on premises and you have to create a replication protocol here. Then you use it. It is not used for this scenario where one is your on premises server, the other is Azure or any other cloud. So I have explained the options which are wrong. These are my answers. These three in sequence, you have to follow these. So if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. So many people have passed their certification using contents here. Please focus on the concepts. Do not mug the answers. parts 11 and 12 have been uploaded in the cloud kernel members area. You have to become a cloud kernel to access those important questions. You have to use both the free content and paid content together to clear the certification. Use the link in the description and you can become a cloud kernel member. This brings us to the end of part 13. See you in the next part.